Alright, what's her name?
Her name's Gidgy.
Gidgy.
Gidgy girl. She's an ex-racehorse.
Oh yeah?
I think she finished racing maybe 6 years ago.
Yep.
And I've had her pretty much since then. She's 12 years old now. She's turning 13 in October.
So she raced a bit, did a few races?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got a third once, and that was the best she ever did.
And what's she do when you go to load her usually?
She's quite happy to walk up the ramp, but as soon as her head gets in there, that's it, she stops.
Right.
If you put pressure on her, pull her up,
goes backwards.
throws her head up and goes backwards.
Yep.
If you put pressure on her from the back, she tucks her bum up and she goes backwards.
Yeah, like when people try the bum rope thing.
Yep.
Yep.
So even if you just stand behind her with a bit of a rope and try and sort of swing it to give her an idea of which way she should go,
Yep.
she doesn't do that either.
Yeah, it seems when, like if they're already thinking backwards and they don't want to go forward, if they're already thinking backwards, you put more pressure on, they just seem to go backwards more.
So I find the only way that I can do it is to get food in there, because everything she does is driven by food.
Yep, so you just get in there and lead her on with a bit of food. And
I have to stand at the back and I hold the rope out as long as I can, and I just slowly, she gets her lip right out and she tries to eat it without having to move in.
Oh dear.
So it's a 2-hour ordeal to get her up on the float.
Oh, okay.
And I will usually, she won't get on if she's the only one there.
Yeah.
So I usually will load Sunny on first.
Alright.
He's her best friend. And she usually goes where he goes. So he'll stand there and munch away for a little while until Gidgy's finally ready to get on.
Yep. Okay. And when you ride her, what's she like for like crossing water and things like that, or going through like creeks and things, ups and downs?
She's alright with that sort of stuff.
She's okay with that?
She gets a bit of separation anxiety though, so I can't really take her many places without
so she might have
around.
Like her self-confidence, maybe she hasn't got a lot of self-confidence herself.
Sometimes I think it's an excuse to get out of work.
Yeah. Yeah. So what, she plays up and then gets out of work?
Yeah, she knows how strong she is, and she knows that she threw me off last year, and I took a full year to get over it.
Yeah.
You know, just because...
Emotionally wise or
No, I've
physically?
really hurt myself.
Yeah.
Just because she knows that sometimes she can just do it if she really doesn't want to do something.
Yep.
Sunny was around the front, up here, and I was riding her around the back, and she was getting agitated, and I was trying to sort of work her through it.
Yeah.
And she just let rip with a huge buck, and that was the end of it.
Okay.
So she hasn't done anything like that since, but that's the sort of stuff that she'll do. And I really do think it is just to get her out of doing work.
Usually that sort of thing starts off with not being very emotionally brave, but then if it works, then it starts to become a pattern to where they do, like you say, like, oh, I know this works, I'll just do this, and then you'll give up.
Yeah.
And they get to know you pretty well, don't they? They sort of.
They do. That's the only time she's ever gotten away with it, and it was only because I was so sore I couldn't get back on.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll check her out, and see if we can get you on a program to get things going better between you. We can't have you hitting the ground. Okay, you want to load her up? I think this horse might have started out not very brave, and now it's become a bit of a habit to where it's not putting in any try. I just videoing. Yeah. And that's a bit where she gets stuck usually, is it? A bit further. Alright. We'll try a little bit more, see if you can get another step there. Slipping over, yeah. Does she get sweaty?
Oh yeah.
Get real sweaty, yeah. be an interesting one. Yeah. Alright. Yep, we get the idea.
Sorry?
We get the idea.
So if I were to give her a bit of a yank while I pull her in, she could get straight around back out.
Throws her head up and goes backwards. Yeah.
But she doesn't seem stressed about it. She shifts around and things like that. She just won't get on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? But I'm guessing she's really lacking confidence.
I don't think she had an easy life before I got her.
Yeah.
She had a very easy life since I had her.
That's good. We're supposed to have an easy life.
But I really don't know what happened to her in the first few years, so it's hard to know why she does things like this.
I think with this one, because she'll be going, when we work with her here, she'll be going through a few emotions. She might start to sweat a bit. But after she works through that and learns to think her way through her emotion, she'll come out a braver horse on the other side. When you get a braver horse, you can do things like this. See, it's not so much about the float loading, it's about her trusting you enough to do things that she's afraid of.
Yeah.
See, if you're the boss, she should do whatever you ask because she trusts you. Same as in the herd situation.
Yeah.
So at the moment she's not. And what will happen is as she works through that, she's probably going to get a little bit sweaty as we work through here. But once she gets through that other side and she discovers that it's okay, she gets that self-confidence that comes out of that. She'll be a braver horse, so she'll have less of those anxieties that you were talking about when you're out riding her away from other horses. But the braver she gets, the less separation anxiety she'll have.
Yeah.
All right? But we'll see how we go, eh? I'll get a halter here. I'll put my rope halter on. Try not to dig up the drive too much.
No, it doesn't matter. Did you see the blood at the beginning?
Just trying to back her up a bit here, just to get her out of my personal space. So we're going to go through those. Okay. Go through those prerequisites that we do on all the horses. Check out the personal space. Make sure the horse is coming out of our personal space, following the feel of the halter, and being able to go through claustrophobic positions when we ask them to. Okay. So we're going to look at those things. Also make sure she's not afraid of anything as we go through. Okay, so she's pretty quiet at the moment, but she might be a bit like one of those ducks you see paddling on a calm pond. They look all nice and calm on the outside, but underneath their legs are going flat out. I think I might find she's not very brave. We'll see how we go. So just getting her to follow the feel of this halter here. I want to get her good at having that shoulder go past me. So when I go to drive the horse onto the horse trailer, that when I drive her, that the shoulder will go past. I need that for when we go on the float. Protect my personal space a bit. Make sure she's okay after. going to have to check in a lot with this horse. Establishing my personal space here. Think about that. Body life up. Moving my stick. Tapping the lead rope. She's got to learn from the pattern here. She's got to learn to watch my body language. Sometimes horses get into the habit of not paying attention to what humans are doing, and then they find that it's too late. You know, by the time human starts doing something, you know, causing some pressure or something like that, that the human goes, oh my God, what'd you do that for? Now we've got to make sure that they're paying attention in the first place. To do that, we have to make sure we use our body language first too. So body language, stick, start tapping my rope here. Tap on that. Make sure she's okay with it. She's okay with it. Alright. I'm going to point her in this direction when I want her shoulders to go out and away from me. Good. Hind-quarter yield. Good. I'm just going to back her out of my space. Oh, that's nice. So she went off my body language this time. So this is a good sign. So this horse, you know, if it can do that in just a few minutes here, then it's going to be good for me to be able to train it if it's going to be watching my body language. Because the more it watches my body language, the more chance it has of going to release. Lift your shoulders over there. And it's the release that teaches the horse. Oh, beautiful. Good girl. Yeah, that's really nice. You're doing a good job. I'm going to try and build this up to a bit of a trot, see if I can get some trot out of her. I'd like to put her through a flight test situation, so a claustrophobic situation. So I'll find there's a nice tree down here on the ground over here. It's a bit big, but we might have a look at it. Looks like an interesting jump. Get those shoulders over there, babe. Come on. That's a girl. Yeah. Good. Put your hind quarter around, out of my space. So with this sort of horse, ex-race horse, you know, you put a hind quarter yield on them, they go, oh, we don't do hind quarter yields. So what happens is they turn a little bit and just come faster into your personal space. So with this sort of horse, you've got to make sure you do a good hind quarter yield and protect your personal space at the same time. Because if you just get the hind quarter yield and then have them come on top of you, you're teaching them to come on top of you faster. So you've got to be careful of that. Real careful. That's better. Trying to give it a nice release. We've gone a little bit more long range here now that I'm out in the open. Let my string go. I'm on the end of the lead rope a bit more. Just giving a nice release when she goes forward. It doesn't matter whether she jumps this jump or not. I just wanted to go look at it. That was a good try. Whoa. Put a little bit more pressure on her than I wanted to there. I'd rather turn her hind without so much pressure on her head, but got my leg stuck. She started pulling back because she knows I'm going to ask her over here. I'm going to point my lead rope, a little bit of pressure, point my lead rope. Good girl, that's better. Hind quarter yield. You're doing a good job. Okay. Come here. Okay. Try again. Now generally I like them to trot over and do a nice little jump over there, but you know, just that for today is nice. That's a good start. Starting to trust me, we're starting to build a relationship there. She knows that if she does what I ask, that all is good on the other side of it. There's a release. But we'll see how that goes when she comes up against this trailer. See, some horses, people have been practicing on loading for a while, they've been having a bit of trouble with it. The horse builds up a bit of a resistance. You know, when they get up to the float, they start to get nervous because they see it as a spot of discomfort. So we'll see how we go. Generally, a horse that would go over the jump like that would be reasonable to load. Bring my own branch with. Okay. That's good. We've got the shoulders up here, so that's nice. We just need those shoulders past this point of no return here. So here she's come back by herself, so what I need to do here is keep asking her, not give any release until she tries to go back on. If she'd come back out and I'd said, oh good girl, give her a bit of a rub, thanks for trying, she would have learnt that comfort is coming off the trailer. Okay, so I didn't have to put a lot of pressure on, but I just needed to ask her back on again and say, no, that's not where you rest. Your rest is back here. She did a good job. So I point my lead rope backwards. Use my stick to keep her head straight. So I like them coming off straight as possible. Straighten her up a bit. Out of my face. It always amazes me how you be waving your stick, body language on, tapping the lead rope, tapping them on the nose, and instead of moving their feet, they just stand there. It's just because of that fear, that resistance thing. So we've got to be careful when you do that you don't, be too hard on them because they're having enough trouble as it is. So body language, it's done through repetition. So you don't try and put a heap of pressure in there and get it done all in a hurry. Body language, stick, rhythmic pressure we call this. Release when the horse goes backwards. And try to release when you haven't got any pressure on. That's one of the keys to getting your horse light. Sorry babe, still digesting that. There you go. So body language, stick. So when she goes there, try and finish on something light. So that's heavy there. This is light, heavy, light to the finish. So you've really got to try and time that release. Really time that release to where you haven't got any pressure on there, just direction with your body language when you release, when you stop, when you get the step you want. You keep working on your timing like that, you'll get real good at it. Your horse will be a lot happier, and it'll get a lot lighter. Now that applies on the ground work and the ridden work too, so it's a handy skill to have. Now with the other horse that I had before, I felt like it was going to go forward, so I could give it a bit of a tap on the hind, but I feel with this one, if I tap it on the hind, it'll probably come backwards because it's sort of thinking more out than in. So we can't hurry this one up. To get it that little bit extra on, we need to go off and get a better run up. Also, stopping here for a little while, establishing this comfort spot. See, what we're doing here is establishing comfort spots. If your horse is really afraid, we'll just get them, establish a comfort spot near the horse float. And then as it gets better, you keep moving that comfort spot forward and forward, more forward. Getting better. Good job. Now just there that horse started to go to walk on. So there's something we've got to be careful of when we're practicing, is that we just don't go on, off, on, off, on, off, and repetition train the horse. That's not a bad thing, but what happens is if you haven't built some sort of communication, so just keeping the horse paying attention, following a feel, you might get him to where he loads, but he's not thinking about it. It's sort of an automatic, what we call a somatic marker, which is an automatic process in your brain. Sort of like when people drive to work and they just think about everything else but driving to work. And if you're told to pick up something on the way home, you forget. Well, blokes do anyway. So here I'm just going to do a little circle, just try and establish my personal space as I go around. Give her something to do. Then come back to my load. Now that's pretty close to where she was last time. I'd like her to try a little bit better. So I'm not going to rest her for very long. That's a bit better. So I can rest here for longer. What I want to do is thinking her way through it, looking for the spot of comfort, following the feel, following my body language. She's doing good. I thought she might get a bit stressed, a bit sweaty, but she's doing a good job. I could rest her a bit more here, but we'll keep moving. I'm going to try this from the other side because she looks like she's going pretty good here today. She's doing a good job. So I'm going to see how she goes from the other side. Just for the sake of learning to follow what I suggest. No, don't go looking at me. Now when I move around here, I'm not just moving her to the one side forward. I want her shoulders to to move over, because it really is a respect issue if those shoulders lock up on you. Bit harder from this side, you can't get as good at direction. She's got a little technique worked out here where she throws her head. That's better. Good girl. Trying to get her to go sideways here. She wants to brace. Okay, this is a lot of stuff in one day. She was doing such a good job, I wanted to get a little bit of extra practice in, because we haven't got a lot of time. I wanted to think her way through this. Going to go through a little moment here, it seems, as she explores where the comfort is. So I'm going to keep her busy unless she's walking towards that comfort spot in the front of the horse plate there. No, not towards me. So every time she goes towards that, she gets nice release. You know, we're trying to educate the horses to think their way through it. So it's in that moment there where they jump around and start giving us opposition. Quite often it's tempting for us to back off, but we've got to keep our focus and keep focusing on the release. Don't think, oh my God, my horse is jumping up, it's getting worse. Keep focusing on the release, focus on the good thing, and you'll get more of it. Come on, babe. We'll try one more of those. See if we can get it a bit nicer. Oh, it's coming along, isn't it? The thing is, she just didn't just go on there, she had to think her way through it. So as she gets smarter, she'll get more self-confident, she'll get more brave, she'll have less of these troubles where she gets the separation anxiety from her mates, because she's going to become more self-confident. Sometimes it's good to find little things like this that test your horse's emotions, because if you can help them through it, you make a braver horse. But you build that bond between you and your horse as well. You help them through these things. You need to understand them and help them through them. Quite often we get a bit too human and we think the horse is being disrespectful or trying to outsmart us in some human way, but quite often it's just the emotion that gives them trouble. Them or us? Come back, babe. So I'm trying to release each step as the horse comes back. Good job. Very proud of you. You did a good effort. Yeah. What do you think? Alright, we'll come back tomorrow and work on that a bit more. This horse has done a really nice job in one day here. Alright, we're with Gidgy. It's a second day and she's pretty relaxed here. So we're going to go through the same prerequisites again. We're going to give her a rub, walk her around, do some walk-trot transitions and check out her flight tests and see how she goes over that log down there. After that, then we'll do our horse trailer. She looks pretty good. No worries, babe. Very good. Again, keeping an eye on our personal space. Looking good. I'll just trot her a little bit here. Ground's a bit hard here, so I won't trot too much. She's just had her feet done, I think. I might come down on the grass. Hindquarter yield. Hindquarter yield, babe. So when they do this hindquarter yield, they really need to step through with those back legs. Keep an eye on that. If they don't, it means they haven't given to you, they haven't yielded to you, and you're supposed to be the boss, they're supposed to yield to you. So she's following the direction there. Good, I don't want to have to use the stick, because I want her just to follow the direction. I want her to follow the feel. I don't want to use any discomfort if I don't have to. Remember, in Quantum Savvy we use release focus training, so we're always trying to avoid using pressure. So even there, when I tap her with a stick, it's probably more direction than discomfort. It's nice, so I'll just trot her up here a little bit. And again, walk again. Good. Hindquarter yield. Now keep an eye on this with this horse, and this is an ex-race horse, this one. So hindquarter yields aren't a strong point. See how she sucks back a little bit in that hindquarter yield? Try and get a forward step out of that if that happens to you. So I'll do that again so you can see. So she goes around, go from a hindquarter yield, there she goes. If she sucked back a bit on that one, I'd just ask her forward to finish. Now some horses, I do a hindquarter yield and come forward. So those horses, you've got to back them up to finish. Okay? Whatever you finish on is what you've just taught the horse. So if you want his weight back in the stop, you've got to make sure his weight stays back in the stop. Just following the direction really nice here today. Hindquarter yield. Come on, babe. Good. Over the jump. Hindquarter yield. That was nice. That was a bit quicker than yesterday, which was good. Good. Good job. Make sure she acknowledges that. There's a big improvement. They want to acknowledge every good thing they do. We're trying to reward the try in the horse. When you're leading them along, try and keep their shoulder in line with your shoulder. Okay, it's a leadership thing. If you're in front of the shoulder, some horses, they feel like they're driving you along. And when they're in charge like that, it's hard to get them to do things. Also, they might run into you. I'll just get her to walk across this ramp gently. Beautiful. And again, if you've got an American trailer where it hasn't got the ramp there, just across a plastic tarp, you could even lay a tarp down here between you and the trailer. Good, she bumped me a little bit on that side. Let's get this hindquarter yield. Good girl. Just on a bit more, babe. Pretty nice. This horse is doing pretty good. So we'll it's not just about getting the horse on the trailer, it's about the horse thinking their way through things. And us as horsemen, we need to give our horse responsibilities. So if we can do this from a bit longer range, the horse has more options to not do what we want, and it has more responsibilities on its part. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'll do this from what we call long range, which is from the end of our rope, see if I can send my horse on and have it still go on there. So this is a responsibility thing, just to get your horse a little bit smarter. You're doing a fantastic job there, bro. Okay. Come over here. Now in this one I've got a string on the end of the rope here, on the end of the stick, and I'm going to do this from a longer range. Good, just a little bit more, babe. Pretty good. And she could go on just that little bit more there. That's not too bad. I think she'd go. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty nice. Shall we see how the owner goes? We'll get Bree out here in a moment. I'll just get my horse off. Nice job. Okay, Bree, your turn. So what I'd like you to do, I'll get you to do all those same things, okay? So if you could just rub her all over there for me. She looks pretty good with that. You still want to check these things anyway, you know when you go out to get your horse, you want to make sure they've got nothing poking out of them if they've been out in the field. Your dog's going to help you. Alright, I'll give you, do you usually use a stick when you, or just a lead rope? You can do it either way.
I'll do it your way.
Yep, okay. So just take her down there on the grass because her feet look a bit sensitive. And just see if you can get her to walk and trot, okay? So just shorten your lead rope a little and point her in the direction you want her to go. So point, that's it. So see how there's feel on the lead rope there? And you walk that way. That's it. Go down on that grass just over here. To your right a bit more. Yep. Okay. See if you can get her going around. Now make sure you walk forward when you go. See how you just walked backwards there? Yeah. So you've got to keep an eye on that because that's submissive, and what it'll do is it'll draw the horse on top of you. Okay, so up to a trot. So point your lead rope, body language, then point your lead rope. Good. Try not to have the stick being used though. Yep. So try this again. So so you've got to have different. You've got to change your body language first. That's your first signal. So relax. Good. Sort of relax. It's a bit hard to relax with the camera on. Okay, now lift your body language up, point the lead rope, then the stick. So the horse sees it coming. Good, now relax your body language. Cool. Do it again, up again, body language, lead rope, stick. Good. And once she goes, relax the stick but keep your body language up. Okay, that's pretty good. Change sides, so yield her hind quarter. So just move it away from you, wave the stick at it, shorten your lead rope if she runs off. Keep waving your stick at her bottom. Shorten your lead, tap her on the hind if you oh, she's gone, that's okay. And just bring her forward a little so she sucks back and that hind quarter yields. Okay, but this will be in your homework cards in that foundation program I was talking about. Okay, so doing the Quantum Savvy foundation program there. So see how you feel like you need to walk out of the way there? She's got to come out of your way. So as she was coming at you there, she was coming into your personal space, so you almost, because you're polite, almost stepped out of the way. But she's got to step out of your way. Human things don't work with horses. So you might, be polite with people that way, but if you walk out of a horse's way all the time, they're going to start walking on you. So get her shoulders away from you as she goes. That's it. Good job. Okay, transitions again. So body life, lead rope, stick. That's it. Relax. Go again. Point your lead rope. So up to a trot. Shorten your lead so she can feel it. Shorten your lead rope. There you go. Okay, see how she's bringing her shoulder at you, and you kept, so you've got to push it away from you. So when she does that, it sounds easy, doesn't it?
It does. It's so much. You make it look easy.
You'd hope so. Point your lead rope that way.
Yeah.
Now you stay here, okay? There. Now get your shoulders out of our space.
You definitely respect you more than me.
Yeah, I hope so. Can now point her over this way. Point your lead rope that way. Yep, that's better. Now shorten your lead. Now get those shoulders to your right, okay? There they go. You see them come out the way?
Yeah.
And it's funny with her, as soon as those shoulders unstick, she goes forward better. And this is the thing, you've got to get those shoulders unstuck, then they have better forward because they're using their hind. See the shoulders again, point. They've got to go away from you. You've got to be careful not to walk backwards because as you were yielding her forequarter there, you went to walk backwards. Now, and they read this sort of stuff. And it's a bit of a claustrophobic thing up against that tree as well. There, that's better. All right. Come down to the jump, walk her down to the jump there and see if you can get her over the tree. And try and keep her shoulder to shoulder, okay? So she's not going past you and she's not hanging behind. And you keep walking towards the tree and get her out, just tell her to get out of your way. That's it. You keep walking towards the tree. So point your lead rope to the left. Point your lead rope to the left, yep. And get her shoulders to the left. She'll go in a minute. Now go over the jump. Oh, you missed it. Try again. Don't walk backward. Over the jump now. Walk forward. Good, now stop her. Hind quarter yield. Back the other way. You're both going over the jump. Change your hands over, change your rope over there. That's it. Line her up, get those shoulders going to your right. Point where you want her to go, line her up now, look where you're going. Over the jump, point the lead rope. Your lead rope's too floppy. Point, there you go. Now yield her hind, yield her hind. You've got to yield her hind away. As soon as she jumps, she's got to turn and face you. Do it again. Change your ropes over. So you... Oh yeah, it's okay. Just a practice thing. Point your lead rope, it's too floppy again. This is an important thing here. So she's got to stop after the jump. So put her over the jump again. Oh, no, that way. Walk that way towards the jump. She's got to stop coming through your space. Come over here. So you can't have the rope floppy.
Okay.
Okay, because how does she know to jump?
Yep.
So if she jumps, she's jumping away from your stick. So when they're, and I'll point this out to you guys watching here, she's got to be following the feel. If she's following the feel, she's going to comfort. If she's got no feel, no direction, doesn't know where to go, and you just use the stick to get her over the jump, she's gone away from pressure. You get a whole different attitude out of your horse. Okay, so if you can have them following a feel, they're going to be a lot happier because they're going to comfort and there's no pressure involved. You know, if they don't follow the feel, you use pressure. But what you don't want to be doing is just using the stick to get them to move all the time because it's away from pressure. It's a whole different mindset for the horse. Mindset is real important. So if you could use the stick there now for me. Good. Now hind quarter yield as soon as she comes over, and then put her back over the jump. And if you have to, you can come, hop over this side.
Okay.
But no, you've got to change sides now.
I do?
You come over here. No, change sides of the horse.
Okay.
So now she's got to come out of your way here, out of my space. So you point her that way. Good. Now over the jump. And as she goes, you release that lead rope. Don't pull on it, okay? Hind quarter yield. Back the other way without me, okay? So that was the same side of the horse. So now you've got to change sides of the horse. Change, stay there. She's gone over there.
Okay, so
Now you go back this way. Now point the lead rope. Change hands. You need to practice this, I think. There. Good. That's it. Hind quarter yield. Back her out of your space. You went backwards first. Dear. Yeah, now but you're asking her forward with the lead rope at the same time. So you can't point it forward. Sounds easy. It's a coordination thing.
It is.
So
That's
when
something I've always liked.
So when you do that and ask her about, that says forward and this says back. So you've
Right,
got to,
so you gotta
they go loose.
Put it
Say,
down.
back. Clear as mud? Do our foundation program, you'll get to practice those things. So the foundation program set up to practice these skills. You're doing okay. Let's load her up. And the thing with it is she's not taking too much advantage of it, which is nice. Some horses do. See how she's pushing in your space as you're walking up here? So push her out of your space with that stick or wave your arm or your leg or something. And look where you want to go, so you're focusing still on where you want to go. There, to keep focusing and keep walking to where you want to go. And what we're going to do, catch her up so she's walking shoulder to shoulder. When we get up here towards the horse trailer, so keep her going a bit more. You're supposed to be shoulder to shoulder. So change your rope over the other way.
Sorry.
Catch her shoulders up. Are you shoulder to shoulder now?
Yep.
Keep walking. Yep. Okay, now stop and yield her hind. Move her hind away, yep. There. Change your rope over, you'll be on a different side of the horse, don't walk backwards. And load her up. Point your lead rope to where you want to go. You're a bit quick on that stick and not quick enough on the lead rope. So you had no direction.
I did.
Okay, so see all this stuff here?
It's my natural lunging
do that
coming
and go
out.
like this.
It's all about the stick, not the rope.
So, and just load her up. Why didn't you do that?
Make you look good.
Okay, actually you can get her off.
Okay.
And put her back on for me. Put some feel on the lead rope and keep her head straight with a stick. Keep some feel on the lead rope. Ask her backwards with the lead rope. Keep asking her. There might be some pressure on the lead rope, so you're going to have to shorten the lead rope up or get her a longer arm. Might have to tap her with a stick. Shorten your lead rope up. Shorten your lead rope up. There you go, you're bunching it up again. One day you're going to get your finger broken because it'll run off when they're all bunched up like that. So, see, now straighten their head. Keep the feel on the rope. Put your stick on the side of her head. Give it a tap. Give her a tap on the side of the head. Come on, keep tapping. Keep tapping. There we go. Keep. Every time she steps, you release, ask, release, ask, release. You've got to get that rub your head, pat your belly thing going on. All right, walk her over there and load her up again without me, okay? Shoulder to shoulder. See her shoulders trying to come in your space? Keep an eye on that. Okay, change her, turn her around and go back and load her up. Get that hind quarter, good job. Yeah, you want to change sides, you just yielded the hind. No, don't you move, she's supposed to move around you. Now move the forequarter over. Point to the left. No, the other left. There. Now look where you're going to go. There you go, line it up. You're going to have to walk a bit quicker. Point the lead rope. Give her a bit of impulsion with a stick. That's enough. Yay! I think you need some coordination work.
This is why I break bones all the time, because I have none.
So just go practice our program. It's designed to teach these skills. Okay, so it'll really help. I know getting your left and your right mixed up is it happens when you're under pressure, but you'll be able to do it. She's doing it for you, she'll help you out. But you've got those things to practice. You know what to practice? Good.
Putting my hands in the right order.
Yep. Cool. She loads now. That's 2 days. So how do you feel she's come along over these 2 days?
I was stunned with how much you got done with her just yesterday, and she's remembered it all quite well with you today. So obviously I need to do a lot more work because she doesn't respect me like she respects you. Yep. And that's my fault. So we're going to have to go back to basics, the two of us. But as far as her training goes, I'm stunned. I can't believe how good she's performed with it all.
They're amazing, aren't they?
I know. To be able to jump that log from a horse that would trip over this rut, and to jump over that because you told her to, and she trusts you, that's unbelievable to me. It's quite incredible. And, you know, I've always had horses that have been quite easy to deal with, and they do what you tell them and off you go, and you can take them out and about and they're not a problem. But Gidgy's always been difficult for me, and I can see now it's not her. She doesn't trust me, and I need to work on that. It's not something I've ever really had to push myself to do before.
Have you got the tools? You understand how you can get to do that?
I do now after watching how you've worked with us. I'm not very good at it. I don't have quite the same finesse as what you do, but I think with a bit of practice, we can definitely get there.
Fantastic.